Hi, this is Christy with Creations by Christy, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card. It is ink and embossed, and I'm going to show you how I created it. So it was very simple. There's a couple steps, and if you can see, it's done on a text print, and this I got from this book. I got this at the library book sale. They have all their books. The hardcover books are $1, and this is the complete works of Shakespeare. And so this is a rejected book that they got rid of. So it was a whole $1 for this whole book. So I figure I would take a page from Romeo and Juliet, since this is a Valentine's Day card. I would take a love story and take a page out of there, and I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and I'm going to paste this on. And I like to use a matte gel. You can use the Claudine Helmuth matte gel medium, or where's my paintbrush? Or this one is from Liquitex, and I just figure out which side I'm going to use. Oh, I'm going to use this side. Okay, so I'm going to paint the back with the matte gel medium. And just kind of don't overdo it, because once you brayer it flat, it will squish out too much. And this stuff, when it dries, it is permanent, so watch your tables and stuff. So I'm going to put that on, and you could just leave it like that. You can wrinkle it if you want wrinkles, but since I'm going to run it through my Cuttlebug, I want it nice and flat so it gets the nice embossing. So I'm going to take a brayer and get any bubbles I have out. So, and I would let this sit aside and let it dry. And I have another one that is cut to size. So I'm going to put this aside, put it over there. And here's one that I cut down to size. And it's all dry, ready to go. And this is actually, it's like the play, so it has all the, it's really cute. Enter Romeo. And Ben and Romeo are having a talk here. So very cool. And the Cuttlebug folder I'm going to use is this one here, and this is Love is in the Air. And this is another one that's in the same, this one, yep, this is another one that's in it. And if you're new to my blog, this is how I organize all my Cuttlebug folders. And you can find this on another post. This is the best. I love this way. Okay, so I'm going to take my Cuttlebug folder, and we're going to be embossing it, and we're going to ink it. So this is so cool. You're going to love this. Okay, I'm going to get my Cuttlebug all ready here. Put this over here a little bit more. Make sure it's still in there so you can see. Okay, so we're going to take the Cuttlebug folder, and we're going to ink the side that has where it says Cuttlebug. We're going to ink that side up. So I'm going to put this right here, make sure you can see. And I'm going to use the Versamagic. I'm going to use the Perfect Plumera. And I'm going to run my little brayer over it, and I'm going to ink this whole thing. You want to use a brayer and not put the pad directly to the Cuttlebug, because it will go into the little, it'll ink into it. You know, like you'll get the ink in there, and you won't get as nice of a stamped image. So you want to make sure this gets nice and inky and juicy. You would not want to do this with a StazOn. I like doing this with this stamp pad because it's foamy, so you get lots of ink on the brayer. I'm going to do it with a nice wet ink pad. And with my finished card here, I inked up the edges of the text paper before I inked it. This one I'm just going to leave plain, see how that turns out. Okay, so I have this nice and inky. I'm going to set that aside. This is like a chalk ink. Okay, so I have this right here. Now here is the trick. When you go to put your paper down, you want to put it text side down. You want to not move it around. And I like to, when you go to put your sandwich of your base pad, and then your B plate, your Cut-A-Blog folder, B plate, and then I put an extra shim to make sure that it really gets smushed in there. So I'm going to get ready to close this up when I drop this in. Get it in the camera here. Okay, so I'm going to drop this in, and my paper is a little bit fluffed up there, which is fine. So I'm going to close it and drop this on here right away. I should have done that right on my plate here, but I didn't. Hopefully it didn't move. Okay, so, and then I'm going to run it through my Cut-A-Blog, and I'm going to run it through a little slow so that it really gets inky. Okay, and you can even have it go back through. So it goes through a second time. There we go. Slide that aside. I even curled up my shim a little bit because it went through so slow, like so tight. So now you're going to get a nice, good impression. And it moved just a hair, like probably when I set it down. But like, unless you're really looking, you're not going to notice. So that's how it turned out. And this can be washed with just plain old water. So I'm going to set that aside. So now here's this one. That's the one I did first. And I inked up the edges before I ran it through the Cut-A-Blog. And that's why the edges are brown. I did that with the Vintage Photo. And so look how gorgeous. So this is all embossed, and everything that's debossed is the Perfect Plumera. And so it just gives it just such a sharp image. You can still see the text where the Perfect Plumera is. It just is so cool. So then what I did was I took before I put it on my card, I took some of the little ribbon. It's like twine, real skinny twine. This is from American Crafts. And wrapped it around the bottom of my card. And grab some scissors here. Cut it off. And I want to attach like a little key, this little cute little key, and lock it. So I just wrapped it around there and then tied all of them where they connect in the center. Tied in a knot. So that all stays. And then on the back, I put a piece of tape so that those didn't shift. Grab a piece of tape. That's all you simply have to do so that they don't shift up and down. and they stay spaced out like that. And my heart on this one, because I didn't really pay attention when I placed it down, because I was doing it on video and trying to rush, is not perfectly centered like this one is. This one I took a little bit more time, and my heart is centered. These are centered, whereas these aren't. So you might want to be a little bit more fussy when you do yours. And so then I took the keys. These are from Blue Moon, the Manor House. And they're these little tiny keys and lockets. These are actually from the jewelry department. And your Tim Holtz scissors, the tonic scissors, will cut through metal. And so I just cut off these little jewelry things. They're supposed to attach it to the jewelry. And just run it through your little doohickeys here. And then tie your bow. So it's so cute. Oh, I'm going that way. Loving it. Trim these off. And then my final step, I took some stickles, the distress stickles, and in this big heart here, this big center heart, I don't know if you can see the glitter in there. Now this card I made for Operation Right Home. And they have strict rules on glitter. You can't use flaky glitter, but you can use stickles because it is embedded in there and it's not flaking off. Nothing's coming off. So stickles are okay. And so in this center heart here, and then where every one of these little dots are, I put some of the distress glitter, or the distress stickles. And so it just adds a little bit of shimmer, but not overpowered, because I want this to look a little distressed and aged. And then I left the inside of the card blank. So I just kind of went around and pushed it around in this large center heart here. Just like that. And you're not going to see the shimmer until it is dry. And you're just going to let the air dry. If you try and use your heat gun to speed up your stickles, it will bubble, which is another look that you might like. So this is, and then you just simply glue this when it's all dry. Glue this to the card front. I always leave the centers, the inside of my cards blank, so that the soldiers can write plenty to their loved ones. So that is simply done. So hope you enjoyed that and get some good ideas for some more cards for yourself. Okay, thank you.